Hey everyone, it's Jake Clark and John Schneider from Fargo 3D Printing, episode 5 of our podcast. So today what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about us going to Santa Clara next week. Then we're going to hit 2 myths about 3D printing, and then we'll be concluding on that. So Santa Clara. We'll be in Santa Clara, California next week for the Inside 3D Printing Expo.
Yep.
It starts on Wednesday, Thursday. Is the actual expo dates, and that's when the exhibit hall is open. But we'll be talking. We have some workshops that we're going to go to and hear a couple different things. The Wallers report. Going to get to talk about that a little bit. But yeah, I mean, is there anything else with Santa Clara that?
So we have an interesting announcement with Lulzbot that will be happening at our booth. So if you're in Santa Clara and going to the Inside 3D Printing Expo, definitely come and check that out. I can't go into too many details yet on what it is, but it is going to be pretty interesting. And then we have one of our own announcements, so a new product that we're coming out with.
Pretty big deal.
Yeah, so definitely come and check that out. We will have samples of the product, and that's all I can say about that. So definitely come check that out. We'll also be talking about it in future podcasts. So if you aren't able to make it to Santa Clara, don't worry. You'll still be able to find out about this. But it's going to be a lot cooler to come see it in person. And we'd love for you to come talk to us at the booth. It's always great talking to people who are as into 3D printing as we are. Just kind of getting to talk shop, geek out. I know we definitely like doing that. We've enjoyed meeting some of you at some of the past shows. So yeah, definitely come and check us out.
Yeah, we'll both be there. Then Aaron, our sales guy, will be there as well. So he'll be helping us out at that show. So we're gonna try and attend some of the breakout sessions. Finally, we don't get to do that a lot when it's just you and I going to the trade show.
It gets to be a little bit hectic. So we are actually driving to Santa Clara. So it's gonna be a fun trip. So we're leaving Fargo. Going to be leaving Fargo and then going down to Loveland, Colorado. We're actually going to visit Lulzbot, check out their manufacturing facility and their bot farm. Hopefully we'll have some pictures and video of that later. And then, yeah, on to Santa Clara. So it's going to be
36 hours
in a car.
Three of us.
One direction.
Oh.
So it'll be fun.
Yeah, then we got 36 hours back, just you and I. Aaron's flying back, so that'll be fun as well. Driving back, we'll be exhausted, but oh well.
So I know one of the things that, we get asked a lot of times, a lot of different things about 3D printing. So we decided to hit a couple of the myths that people maybe misunderstand about 3D printing. So Jake, I know you have a couple of them queued up. So.
Yeah. So we're going to cover 2 in this podcast. Then next week we're going to cover another 2 myths as well. So it'll be 4 myths we're going to cover. So the first one, so myth number 1, it's just like printing. So that's the myth. It's just like printing. It's not.
Nope.
It works similar to a 2D printer, but we add that third dimension on there, which for traditional people, it's you just go file, print, and your document prints. You got to make sure everything's in the margins and everything. But it's a little bit different with that. With 3D printing, you have to make sure that the material's in there. It's the right material. The conditions as far as printing are correct. So if it's ABS, you have an enclosure around it. If it's PLA, you have it open with a fan blowing. If it's nylon, I'm not sure, you've printed more in the nylon. If it's a wood-based filament, there's different manufacturing settings that you have to follow with the different filaments. And then once you go file print, or you go to export your file to the slicer software, you actually got to make sure that the right settings. So you got infill, you got shells, you got supports, you got rafts. Helper discs, which we'll probably cover in one of our podcasts, kind of explain what those are. I think I mentioned that in episode 1 or 2 that we were going to cover helper discs, but just so that curling doesn't happen, and so it's not just like printing out a document. It's a little bit more extensive, but that's what we're here for, to help you guys along with that. So
and along with that, it's not as easy as hitting file print. It's not that easy yet. So about a month ago, we had a chance to talk with Emmett Lawlish. He currently works with Microsoft, and what they're working on is developing a driver stacks to help make 3D printing a little bit more plug and play. So it's not very widespread yet, but I know if you look at a printer like the PrinterBot, if you plug that into a Windows 8.1 or higher desktop PC, or anything running Windows 8.1 or higher, it will automatically recognize the printer and it'll know which driver to load up based on that printer. So if you're in an app that utilizes the Microsoft software, and I don't know exactly how they do it, but it is as easy as hitting file, file print, and then whatever you want your print settings to be, low, medium, or high, and then the printer knows how to handle everything. It's able to slice it right from within whatever program you're using. I know SolidWorks is starting to do something similar as well. You need to be on Windows 8.1 or higher, but you can print directly from in the program. So we're not there yet, but it's getting closer. I don't think it's ever going to be quite as easy as 2D printing is. I mean, granted, I say that now. We'll see where we're at in 5 years. I mean, it's come a long way in the past 5 years, but as of today, it's just not quite that easy. So, and then I think that we kind of hit that. So, I mean, we just want to make sure that when you're thinking about 3D printing, if you haven't been 3D printing before, making sure that you manage your expectations appropriately. I mean, it's not like Star Trek yet. You can't say tea, Earl Grey, hot. It's not there, not yet.
Yeah, I mean, we get some people coming to us like, hey, I got this picture of this diner that my husband and I went to back in the 50s and 60s, and then, like, can we 3D print that? Well, yes, we can, but it's going to take, how many hours to design that building, that's going to take the time to print it, and then, so that's where we help manage those expectations, where it's a little bit different than regular printing. So myth number 2, so we've busted that one from the old Mythbusters show. We've busted that one. So the next one we're gonna work on is myth number 2 is it fast, or what's the expectation of fast? So
you have to define what fast means to you.
Yes.
Because when you talk about 3D printing and making something by 3D printing, a lot of it becomes relative. So it's not going to be you hit print and, like 2D printing, 30 seconds later your print is finished. A lot of times your print is going to be anywhere from half an hour to, well, we've had prints that run for 24 hours, even
36.
Yeah, I think 36 is the longest one we've done. So it takes 36 hours, but now compare that to what it would have taken were you to make that by hand. Not only would it have taken probably more hours period, but it would have been time you would have had to have sat there and been physically working on the model. With 3D printing, in most cases, it's okay, once the printer's going, you're able to walk away from it. Even if it's a 36-hour print, you could walk away for 36 hours and come back and not have put any more effort into the print, and it's now finished. But it's not instant. It's nowhere near instant. It depends on what you consider fast to be.
Yeah, and I mean, much like the 2D printers back in the 90s, where it took 45 seconds to a minute to print out a one-page document from your Windows 98, now it takes 10-15 seconds. So we'll see that rapid growth of where prints right now are taking 36 hours, but maybe in the future they'll take 20 hours or 15 hours or maybe even 10. It just depends on how the technology grows, because there's certain printers, FDM's kind of I think it's kind of reached its max for speed just because of how the technology works. But if we look at like SLA or SLS, something with powders or lasers, we could, or what the Project Ara is working on with the conveyor belt kind of system, the assembly line, we could see those print times drastically shrink. But for now, it's not as fast as it could be, or it's not as fast as regular 2D printing. So just to manage that expectation as well. So it's fast, busted. It's not fast, and it depends on what you.
Well, yeah. So I wouldn't say it's quite busted. It's more of a plausible. Yeah, it depends on what your definition of fast is.
Yeah.
So.
But it's gonna be a short one today.
Yeah.
We got some things to get going on.
We're still getting everything loaded up in the trailer for Santa Clara, so it's a lot of things to try and do and not.
I think it's gonna be one of those late nights with pizza. So, yeah. But yeah. So on behalf of John and I, thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, it's a short one. If you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, be greatly appreciated. If you have any questions, comments, leave them in the comments down below, and we'll answer them for you. So,
right. Thanks.
It's just like printing. It's not.
Nope.